evening, everyone. Okay, I was making sure y'all could hear me. Do I sound low? Am I high enough? But anyway, we have Shay B in the building first, and we have Justin's mom in the building second. They have reported to the investigative agency in the first two slots. So what we're going to do, I know it's and I meant to say hello to the people in the clouds, the bushes, or wherever you may watch. Um, the funeral duchess, how are you doing? We are going to take a break from our countdown for tonight. We're going to be talking about some things. We are going to be going over what's his name, P Diddy's lawsuit that he just lost. By default, we are going to be talking about a little bit about TIFF, the mayor of she is the supervisor of Thornton County and the mayor of Dalton. So we're going to be talking about her, and we're going to take a look at some stuff because there have been some things going on lately with Carl Thomas' baby mother, as she says. So we're going to get into it. I'm not going to because I don't want to have y'all up here till 3, 4 in the morning. So we are going to go ahead and get into it. Hey, Shelly C, let me go on and share this screen, and we will begin. So if y'all didn't know, Puffy has a male victim, who was assaulted by him back in 1997 or 98. And he just went to court a couple of weeks ago because Puffy met with him and wanted him to settle his case for $2.5 million. My thing is, hey, Miss Buckeye, why are you settling because I'm not getting up off of my money. I don't care how rich I am. If I ain't do it, I'm not getting up off of my money. So we have that. And I have that Zoom hearing that he attended. Puffy did not attend, but the plaintiff did. And, he had an injunction put on Puffy's selling of the home because what he wanted to do was start selling off his property. So he had an injunction to stop that, and he won. And it appears that Puffy didn't show up for court this time. So he is in default of $100 million. So we are going to get into that right now on the law and crime tip so we can see what's going on. And hello to Miss Buckeye, Shelly C. And yeah, that's everybody so far. So let's get into this mess. Um, we're going to start out with this video from, if I've downloaded the wrong video, I'm going to scream. That's what I'm going to do.
All of everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
A man who's been in and out of prison since the 90s and is known in the Michigan criminal justice system for filing multiple lawsuits and appeals has a new target in his sights: Sean Diddy Combs. As the rapper faces legal attacks from all sides, what does this latest information mean for the disgraced rapper? Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Today, we're going to introduce you to quite a character, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. He is an inmate at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility out in Michigan. And this week, he was granted a temporary restraining order against rapper Sean Diddy Combs, who has been in the news quite a lot in the past few months. And Mr. Smith's reasoning is very, very interesting. I want to quickly thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of Sidebar. So Upside is a free app that gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas and groceries. Now, believe it or not, I pump my own gas. Yes, I do. And when I do, I can use the free Upside app. I mean, why not get cash back when you fill up your tank, right? And yes, this is actual real cash back. It's money that appears in your Upside app that you can transfer straight into your bank account. So once you have the Upside app, you claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. You pay as usual using a debit or credit.
Okay, so as I thought, I did download the wrong video. So let me retrieve the right one. I can't win for losing. I can't get here on time. I can't download the right videos. But we gonna fix that right quick. We're gonna get it right quick. I thought we was gonna get it right quick. What is going on, YouTube? Why did you? Let me see. Where is that video at? I don't know how I did that. And I thought I looked just to make sure that I didn't. Come on, get out my way. Gosh, and as we know, this man has a lot of allegations against him from multiple people. This is not, in case some of you may think, it's not the lawsuit with oh gosh, what is his name? Little Rod, maybe his name is Little Rod or something like that. It's not that guy. This is a whole totally different guy. Versus try this. Is that son of a gun? And something else I was wondering if he is going to, they were talking about looking at him for a RICO, for the trafficking stuff. And I'm wondering, will that really happen? What do y'all think? Do y'all think that that will actually happen with P. Diddy? Do you think he would get a RICO because of his trafficking and all of his other? Because right now, I would say that I would say they got some good evidence against him. Here we go. Wait a minute. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I cannot find it. Is this a mess? Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will do Tiffany. And while I'm doing Tiffany, we'll go ahead and I'll look for that. Now, if y'all don't know who Tiffany Henyard is, like I said, she is the mayor of Dalton and the city supervisor of Thornton County. I'm still not sure how on earth she's able to do that. Hold two different positions in the same town in two different jurisdictions. I don't know how she's able to do that, but apparently she is. So we're going to get into something that just happened this weekend with her. She had a party, and who knows what this party was for. I just can't keep up with her. But she had a party this weekend, and the bill from this party was just outrageous. I don't understand how she or anybody associated with her is able to even charge things anymore. It shouldn't be. But here we go. We're going to look at this one.
WGN investigates a party with a purpose. South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard threw a bash this weekend. She's trying to silence her critics amidst an ongoing federal investigation into her spending and leadership.
And it is as investigative reporter Ben Bradley found, like many of Henyard's events, taxpayers are left footing some of the bill.
Hey guys, hey! It's your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor.
The super mayor took to social media to promote her party. There was a bounce house, skating, and a food giveaway.
But I spend my own money to make sure that I put on for my sisters. I'm always put my money where my mouth is.
Henyard said she paid after trustees refused. They're trying to control her spending and were skittish because the event was advertised as the Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic. That's also the name of her campaign fund. Her lawyer denies it was a political event, but it's clear the bash was meant to bolster Henyard's image as she faces a federal investigation into her spending in Dalton, where she's the mayor, and Thornton Township, where she's the supervisor.
And for those that don't know, let me make sure I'm crystal clear about this. I ain't never took a damn thing in my life. So I want to make sure y'all hear it out of my mouth.
Let's start with the party's location. It was held at a skating rink Henyard commissioned in Dalton with an initial estimated cost of $269,000. WGN Investigates had to sue Dalton to get Henyard's administration to release credit card records, and we noticed a $17,000 charge to a roller skate wholesaler.
I'm thinking that's for the roller skates that the residents never got a chance to use.
Dalton trustee Tammy Brown says Henyard's rink doesn't keep regular hours. Skycam 9 flew over on a beautiful Friday evening, and no one was there.
It's only open when she's there or she's having an event.
At Tuesday night's meeting, trustee Andrew Holmes resurfaced. The Henyard ally is under investigation after a village employee accused him of sexual assault on a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas. He denies wrongdoing and defends Henyard's leadership.
If it's anything that was criminally done, it will be out there. The children are having fun, the families are having fun, and things are getting done.
This was in the box. We got greens. We got greens, beans, potatoes, you name it. Look at that.
Henyard frequently promotes the township's food pantry, but she's been accused of distributing the boxes with campaign messages. The Greater Chicago Food Depository performed a spot check Tuesday and reminded the township its food can't be used to promote a politician.
None of that food comes from the Chicago Food Depository, so they called us about your fake complaints the other day. We already got all that straight.
That's Keith Price, who runs the food pantry. He tells WGN Investigates the food boxes came from township surplus.
But y'all missing the biggest point. You got people like myself that care about community that people try to stop.
Yeah, right.
People will always try to stop things they cannot control. That's what it's all about. Someone young, vibrant, energetic like myself who cannot and will not be bought is the one that's constantly moving forward.
Henyard has frequently been accused of mixing political and public money. Those newly obtained spending records show Dalton taxpayers footed the bill for more than $8,000 worth of hotel rooms during an event for Henyard's namesake cancer charity last year. The charity has now been shut down by the Illinois Attorney General.
God wanted me to lead the people. God knew that I wouldn't take no mess. He knew that I would stand strong in the fire for you.
The dysfunction in Dalton grows as trustees opposed to Henyard wrestle for control. The housing director says he's been locked out of computer systems, and there are questions about who currently has access to the village's bank accounts. Trustees opposed to Henyard say they're working to cobble together a budget that will begin to dig Dalton out of a multi-million-dollar deficit. Ben Bradley, WGN Investigates.
Okay, now, here's the thing with her party with a purpose that she had going on. Every time she does something out of the bottom of her heart or with a purpose or anything like that, she is always using, as I like to call it, other people's money. And yes, Justin's mom, this woman is still acting up. She is like a puppy, can't stop, won't stop. So she is still acting up. And somebody said something about, okay, use permission. I wonder, is the inmate married? I could use a few millions. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I got one more Tiffany Henyard that I'm gonna play. This is shorter. We'll play this one, then we'll get back to the inmate because I found it.
The self-proclaimed super mayor is also apparently a super fan. She flew in nationally known R&B singer Kiki Wyatt to headline the Taste of Thornton Township last month. There were other performers plus daytime events for kids, but given the fury over Tiffany Henyard's spending, we were curious what the event cost. WGN Investigates obtained the bills through open records laws. They show Kiki Wyatt was paid $30,000 for a 30-minute performance. Rapper Jay Holiday made $20,000 for a half-hour set.
I don't know
Other
him.
costs, including comedians, bounce houses, staff, and equipment, add $35,000, meaning this single-day event cost South Suburban taxpayers more than $85,000.
I was flabbergasted. I was pissed off. That's my money. That's the people's money.
That was a flop. It might have been approximately 65 to 70 people there.
We out here and Taste of Thornton.
On YouTube. Hey, Glorious Love.
Yeah, keep raining, but it's still going on. Right now, they got the comedians up there.
To be clear, Henyard's predecessor also threw a Taste of Thornton Township event, but not on this scale.
But see, this all for the babies. This is what they don't show you. They don't show you this side of Tiffany. The productivity.
She liked to use our tax dollars to promote herself. She have all of these events trying to buy the voters.
After a year's worth of WGN Investigates reporting, detailing first-class travel, meals, and more that's now sparked a federal investigation, trustees in the two governments run by Henyard have tried to stop the spending. Even her former assistant, who's now a township trustee, recently said enough is enough.
I trusted the administration. I trusted the process. And the moment I didn't trust the process, I started asking questions.
Henyard has a habit of claiming to be the boss in one moment, but denying responsibility in others. It recently sparked this reaction.
I do not want a credit card. I do not deal with money. I don't deal with anything.
Tiffany is a narcissist, and she is going to do what she wants to do. I feel like she knows that this is over, but she's going to go down kicking and screaming like an MMA fighter. She's just not going to stop until they put cuffs on her.
Most of the contracts for this event were signed before township trustees put spending controls in place. So it's possible the concert and other activities were something of a last hurrah for Tiffany Henyard, at least as far as parties go. The federal investigation continues. Even if she's charged, that won't expel her from office. It would take a conviction to do that, but voters will have their say when she's on the ballot next spring. Ben Bradley, WGN Investigates.
Now, you know, I like Kiki Wyatt. I think she's a good singer and I like her. But, you know, when you are giving out money for an event, you want to bring people to the event and make people, you know, come out and participate. So you might want to get somebody. I mean, Keke Palmer hasn't been on the charts in a very long time. So, I mean, first of all, get somebody that somebody might bring the people out. And she said, this is for the babies. This is for the kids. Them babies don't want to hear Kiki Wyatt. I mean, I'm sorry. They just don't. And if you looked around at the crowd, you really didn't see a crowd. So that was just, to me, a lot of money spent on a lot of nothing that she shouldn't have been spending. So now we are going to get into Puffy's victim. Now, yes, I think he's single. He's been in jail since, how long has he been in jail? He's been in jail for a minute for kidnapping, essay, and something else. So I think he got 78 years. His name is, let me get his full name because he's got a lot of names. He's been in jail. And also the thing about him is he's got another, I don't know if these are pending charges or if these are charges that they're kind of holding in the balance, but he has to do 75 years. The crime was between 2008 and a 2019 first degree criminal um, actual conduct and kidnapping charges. So he is at, if y'all want to hit him up on the kiosk, he's at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility in Muskegon Heights. And let's see, this man is a professional. Just as mom said, never mind, I don't want him. He is a professional when it comes to lawsuits because he if you just Google him, you will see how many people he sued. One of which was the archdiocese for alleged abuse when he was a child. So the man, he definitely gets around, and he seems to know his way around a brief. He writes pretty good ones. So we are going to get into that right now. Very well spoken guy. Yeah, I'm with Gloria. She do need some new song. I mean, if you, I just think you should get like an artist that's on the.
Let's go back to the beginning. In previous court filings, Derek Lee Cardello Smith, an inmate at Ernest C. Brooks Correctional Facility who is serving multiple life sentences, accused the disgraced mogul of drugging and raping him at a party in 1997. Cardello Smith says in 97 he was a bartender at a Detroit area restaurant when he met Diddy and was invited to a gathering at the Holiday Inn where Combs would be partying. He alleges that he participated in group sex with several women and Diddy, but when Diddy showed interest in him, he got up and sat on the couch. According to the complaint, when Cardello Smith went to get another drink, Combs handed him a drink, thought to be a glass of Jim Beam.
We now know that this man is known for putting, and by this man I mean Puffy. He's known for putting um, substances in people's drinks. Now it's well known now. Was it known back in the 90s? I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm funny about drinks. Like when I go to the club or something, I would never leave my drink. Well, I didn't really drink, but on the rare occasions I did have one, I didn't leave it unattended or anything like that because you just never know. And I wasn't, unless this was like a best friend, I wouldn't take a drink from them. I mean, I wouldn't even take a drink. Like if somebody bought me a drink and bought it to me, somebody I don't know, or somebody who I'm acquainted with but don't know that well, I wouldn't drink it. And that's just me. I don't know if it's because I'm a woman or, we kind of learn things like this at an early age, but I would have never taken a drink from someone else. Hey Beauty is her name.
But when he sat down in the other room and drank more, he began to get drowsy and started it for you. And then Cardello Smith passed out. He claims when he woke up, Combs told him he had penetrated him while he was unconscious. Cardello Smith says he ran into the bathroom and checked himself, noticing he was bleeding and in pain, and left the hotel and never went back. Cardello Smith claims he filed a police report, then he shut down and knew he was never going to be able to tell anyone about what happened. In his complaint, Cardello Smith alleges Combs paid off Detroit and Monroe police officers to keep the police report hidden for many decades. In August of 2024, Cardello Smith made a stunning claim that Diddy.
Here's Beauty is her name. The only thing that you can't do if you are serving time is you can't profit from your crime. But that doesn't mean you cannot sue somebody for a crime committed against you. And by him being in jail like that, the money I'm sure will probably go on his books, or there might be an overseer to the account. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but I do know that it is possible as long as you're not benefiting off of your own crime. You can get money. I don't know Justin's mom. I might would marry him. He it's not like he gonna get out anytime soon. Marry him and become the overseer of his account. You just never know.
He came to the Michigan prison in person to offer offer him more than $2 million, essentially to keep him quiet and dismiss the lawsuit. On August 7th, while appearing virtually in front of a judge and while representing himself in the matter, the Michigan inmate filed a motion for a temporary restraining order against the disgraced producer.
This is in the matter of Derek Lee Cardello.
I'm so sick of this. Ugh.
009 versus Sean Combs, Sean Puff Daddy Combs, Bad Boy Records label owner, founder, also known as Puff P Daddy, Bad Boy Diddy Run the City, Sean Combs, also known as Sean Puffy Combs. And this is file number 24-7362NO. We'll grab your paperwork here real quick out of this other paperwork. We do have Mr. Cardello Smith appearing from the Michigan Department of Corrections. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and or a temporary restraining order. We did set that for hearing today, and luckily the Brooks Correctional Facility was able to make you available. Actually, they had to drive someone up today on another case. So, sir, I have received your motion and a proposed order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is basically with me here. We did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's 2 meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting.
By the way, do y'all hear how well-spoken this man is? I mean, and he knows what he's talking about. He definitely knows how to file a motion. Hey, call me on Keisha's phone. How are you doing? Yeah, Kiki needs as many coins as she can get with all them kids she's got.
And then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case. And what happened to me, because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money, a financial offer of $2.3 million to allow what happened to me to go away. And he stated that he's going to be selling his property. And under the 2005 California Civil Code 2881-2885, the creation of liens, which allows out-of-state justices and orders to cause a stop of any title transfer, property transfers in Los Angeles or any other place that he has property. He stated that he wouldn't be able to proceed with that sale. And he did it the day after I served him the suit. And he also said that he won't be filing an answer to the complaint. He said, you can find me in default or whatever. He has a better chance with the.
Now, if you're following the Nestor Williams case, we have an idea of how much a criminal attorney costs. Can you imagine with Puffy? I mean, he's got lawsuits coming in on him left and right. He lost a lot of business. What was that? Is he on Ciroc? You know, whatever alcohol. It was 2 different alcohol companies. Just all kinds of business deals that he has lost since the Cassie allegations. And can you imagine how many billable hours his attorney is being paid? So, I mean, he's just, money's going out the window for this man left and right.
Default than he would with having a restraining order stopped. And I said, so you want to hide your money and stop from being quite possibly paid to me if I'm given the benefit of a judgment in my favor for what you've done to me. And he pretty much said, yeah. He goes, you know how we get down. And I said, okay, well, I disagree with how you get down. Your sale shouldn't go through.
So I'm gonna, hold on.
I'm sorry. I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Cardello Smith, okay, so you went in a different direction than I thought you were going into. I thought we
I'm
were just
sorry.
gonna focus. No.
We are.
You kind of went off in a different direction than what your actual motion was.
Yeah.
So what I just want to say is settlement negotiations.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
In this case,
Separate
are
here.
probably better not. Yeah, they're not to be placed on
I'm
the
sorry.
record today. Okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. You're not an attorney. I understand that.
I may have a chance if he could hire him.
Okay.
Backtrack and focus just on your
Yes,
motion.
ma'am. I get what you
Tara.
want.
Okay, thank you.
The motion stems from Combs listing his Los Angeles mansion, the same home raided by the feds in March. According to Cardello Smith, he wanted to prevent the sale of the mansion because it would deprive him of any monetary judgment if the civil matter went to a jury trial.
If he's allowed to sell his property that he has in LA and the properties that are in his name being used and held by other people in Michigan, then it will cause me harm because I can be tied directly to those properties through loans and through other areas of investment that I did when I was out there and while in prison through money that I've sent. And if he's allowed to go through with any of the sales, I won't be able to recoup any of my monies or anything from him as a result of any possible judgment in this action, if he's allowed to proceed with it. And an injunction or a restraining order would help ensure that he's not manipulating and selling the property to avoid his responsibility in these matters here. That's what a temporary restraining order would do. It would prevent that from happening. Because it's a very serious matter. It involves a lot of money. And him selling this would help him avoid his liability for these actions done upon me. And I was just hoping that I'd be able to get the restraining order to prevent that. There won't be any harm to him, any of the parties. There won't be any harm to him in any way. And if it's deemed that it's not justified, then he can go ahead and go through with the sale at the end of the case. But one has to be put in place to stop this from happening.
The judge then stepped off the bench for a few moments to review Cardello Smith's documents. When she returned, she granted the temporary restraining order.
So thank you, sir. Is there anything else you wish to add?
First off, just thank you for giving me the hearing and thank you for setting a pretrial on this matter. Thank you, Your Honor. There were some other filings that you should have gotten. I didn't know if that's one of the filings you could have been referring to.
So I received your complaint and all the attachments to it. And then I received this motion. And I just wanted to take a moment to review back through the U.S. District Civil Docket and your complaint. So I did do that. That's all. And
Yes.
okay. Anything else?
Everything that you're looking at, they're all tied in together. Every part, as crazy as this seems, as outrageous as it seems, it all ties in. Every bit of it, every facet.
Okay. All right. Well, I have a proof of service showing that Mr. Combs was served on July 6th of 2000 and let me see, is that 24?
Yes, Your
Yep.
Honor.
Looks like it. 2024, return receipt requested was provided. So there is proper service. Mr. Combs has neither appeared nor responded to this request. So I'm going to grant your motion for a preliminary injunction temporary restraining order and order that the defendant and their agents are hereby enjoined temporarily for a period of 90 days on the sale, transfer, or exchange, trade, or transaction of title or deed to the property listed as the address and placed on the market by defendants for the amount of $70 million. And this property and estate belonging to or connected to defendant Sean Combs shall cease and desist any and all trades, transactions, or otherwise stop the process of any further actions on this property being continued. And this shall have an immediate effect. I'm going to date this August 7th of 2024. And I am going to sign this. And we are set for a pretrial date on Monday, September 9th of 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Is there
Your Honor?
anything else? Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Your Honor. First off, thank you very much, ma'am. The second thing is, under the summons rules and the court rules of service, Mr. Combs, the defendant, had 28 days after he was served by mail, 21 if it's regular process service. His 28th day was the August 3rd, and there was no answer on the default. And I understand that I have to motion verbally or in writing, whichever one you prefer, however you prefer, to have default judgment entered. And today is literally the 28, 9, 30, 31, 32nd day, I believe. And I'd like to either preserve the issue of default judgment.
This is what you call having your facts together.
Or judgment in my favor. I would like.
All right, thank you. Typically, we require that. Ms. McGrain.
How would you spell her name here?
Oh, no, I'm hold on. I'm talking to my judicial attorney. Typically, we require the motion for the affidavit and motion for default be filed. So Ms. Adams, is Ms. McGrain in her office?
She is not. I'm going to go find her right now, Judge.
Okay.
I know. I read that rule. I read the rule, Your Honor. MCR 2.603 governs that. And it said the party can do it in front of the trial court judge or by mail. Whatever you want.
Set a trial date, so I think I'm right. So you're gonna have to file the affidavit and request for default, okay?
Okay. Yes, Your Honor.
And obviously you'll be able to file that before a pretrial date anyway, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so the order was granted?
The order, your ex parte motion was granted, or your motion for a temporary restraining order was granted. I've signed it. And so we'll get that processed and back to you, and then you'll have to obviously serve that on the parties.
Yes, ma'am. Order. Any Michigan representatives of him acting on his behalf for Michigan properties as well as part of that order? Or does your order cover everything?
You provided the order, so I'm going off.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I'm going off the order you provided to me, and I've signed that order already.
That's what I needed. Thank you. All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Cardello Smith, and we'll make sure the writ's done, and we'll see you back in September. Thank you.
Then, in another stunning turn of events, on September 9th, the same judge awarded Cardello Smith a $100 million default judgment against Combs. The judgment was awarded to Cardello Smith because
the bad part about it is he was only asking for 70.
Combs failed to formally respond to the schedule of $10 million per month beginning on October 1st. I want to bring on now a great guest to discuss this case, and that's attorney Safa Robinson. Safa, thank you so much for joining me today. This judgment is very surprising, to say the least. $100 million, the judge ordering the payments to begin on October 1st, $10 million a month. What's your reaction to this judgment, and are you surprised it was even granted?
You know, the judgment is pretty surprising. I will say that this was as a result of what we...
Now, first of all, here's the thing, and I'm not saying that this didn't happen to this man. More than likely it did, because, I mean, this has been his pattern throughout the years. But if he was smart, hey, Nola Brown, if he was smart, he would have gone ahead and gone to court, because one thing this man has is he has a reputation of filing court cases and motions and all of that to sue people. If I had an attorney, and I would assume I'd pick a good one, my good attorney would be up there using all that said. This is not to say this didn't happen to him, because I believe it did happen to him, simply because this is this man's pattern with men and with women. So I do believe it, but I'm just saying a good lawyer could have gotten this thrown out.
We call a default judgment, essentially saying that Diddy and his team did not respond to the allegations, and judgment was granted to the plaintiff in this particular case. I do find it interesting that they had not responded, and I don't know if it's a strategical decision because there is a criminal component to it, or if there was just some sort of lapse in response time or whatever that may have been. So that is a little surprising on that then. Of money.
That is a thought, if he goes to defend this or whatever, could that be counted in an instance of criminology or the criminal case? Because, they are looking at him for some criminal charges. So I didn't think about that. Hey, bank, I did not think about that. So that's a good answer.
I think considering the nature of the allegations that have been put forward against Mr. Combs, and the egregious nature of these allegations, I think that while the amount is large and it is surprising to some extent, it's not all that surprising considering that, there's a punitive damage aspect to this.
And through an attorney, Diddy denied even meeting Cardello Smith. But according to Cardello Smith, the two met in the Michigan prison. He says he even has visitor records to prove it. Do you think it's possible Diddy and his legal team just didn't take this seriously matter?
That is certainly a possibility, but I think, for attorneys, most of us, we will act in the abundance of caution. The lawsuit was filed, and so it would have been appropriate to respond, or it should not have been a surprise, and it should have been taken seriously. And I'm sure that they do take it serious to the extent that they can. I know that there are a lot of lawsuits that are popping up across the country with respect to Mr. Combs, and it's a little hard to differentiate what may actually be truthful and factual versus what could be, just a ploy to gain for some sort of financial gain, which I know in this case, there is a question. The plaintiff in this case has been extremely litigious previously, and this is not the first time that they've sued while incarcerated. So there could be some question with regard to that, but there appeared to be records that are jail records that would have reflected Mr. Combs' visit to the facility, if in fact that did occur.
And from my understanding, he's serving a life sentence in prison. So it's given that, is it one possible that he still could see that money? And two, is it possible the judgment could just get dismissed altogether?
In terms of whether or not he'll actually see that money, there's going to be a question there. Like I said, that there are mechanisms that can be set in place so that he can receive that financial compensation. Just because an individual is incarcerated doesn't mean that they're banned from filing lawsuits or receiving judgments or financial payouts and things of that nature. How that will take place, I can't really say for certain. I think you indicated that he is doing a life sentence. So, what that would mean if he has any other judgments that are against him or creditors that may want to take his financial gain based off of this will also be a question.
And according to reports, Diddy listed his Beverly Hills mansion, that same one at the center of this suit, and the same one that was raided by Homeland Security back in March. And then the home was apparently listed this week. He's been trying to list that home since the summer.
I thought it was something strange when I saw that listed. I saw it, I think yesterday on Instagram listed, and I was like, but how can he list it? It's a judgment against him. And then today we see, okay, he's got it's a default. So that's interesting.
And he's listed the home for a reported $70 million, which is millions above how much he paid for the home when he had purchased it initially. Do you think that money will be used to go toward the judgment, or do you think it'll go toward lawyers, what are your thoughts on just the fact that Diddy is selling the home kind of at the center of this restraining order as well, too?
Well, that's the interesting part here. And so, what the plaintiff in this case did was filed for what we call a temporary restraining order, which would have prevented Diddy or would prevent him from selling that Los Angeles home. And so, we know, or at least we believe, that that TRO was granted to enjoin or stop him from selling that home. And so, ultimately, if that were the case, then there's going to be an issue with the actual sale of the home. Those proceeds from the home essentially would be a part of the proceeds that need to be paid for the plaintiff in this case. But that's really what the issue is here is, whether or not he can actually go forward and sell the home if he's been enjoined. And the reason for the temporary restraining order in this case is to prevent him from selling off assets that would compensate the plaintiff.
And many of us know that Diddy faces several other lawsuits stemming from similar allegations, just like Cardello Smith's allegations, drugging at a party and sexual assault or rape. Well, at this time, no criminal charges have been filed against Diddy, and he has not been arrested. What does that signal to you as far as a pattern goes?
Well, one of the things that's going to happen, and I do believe that there has been a grand jury investigation that has been employed in this case. I think there may be a federal investigation going on, and there may be a stateside one, but I'm not totally sure. But one of the things that the prosecution in any case is going to try to do is show that there is a pattern of behavior here. Now, as a defense attorney, we don't want that information coming in, and we don't want that to be the theory of the prosecutor's case, that just because he may have done it on one occasion means that he had done it on a second occasion. And so those are the things that we argue against, but certainly the prosecution is going to want to show that there is a pattern of behavior here. And with respect to a RICO prosecution, what the government is essentially going to be trying to do is take individuals who have been allegedly impacted by Mr. Combs' behavior and those patterns of that behavior, putting them into grand jury to bring about an.
I don't know, like, if anybody else comes up with a lawsuit on him, I don't know what they may offer in a way of proof, but a clear pattern has been established. So I'm not so sure. I don't know. Anybody else who comes up and wants to sue him might have it easier because the pattern has been established. Hey, let's talk about it all. How you doing?
Indictment.
And Diddy has denied any type of wrongdoing in terms of the many civil suits he faces for sexual misconduct. But we all saw the Cassie Hotel surveillance video and the subsequent apology video that followed. Do you think, even though Cardello Smith, who doesn't have the cleanest record in the slightest, that his claims might hold weight against Diddy?
That is certainly a possibility. I think that Mr. Cardello, his credibility is certainly going to be vetted. We know that he is very litigious. We know that he himself is incarcerated for sexual related offenses. And so is this just a matter of him actually being a victim of this crime, or is this something that he has respectfully concocted because it seems to be that, anybody can make an allegation against Mr. Combs and it's taken as factual by the public. So that's going to be the thing here that we're going to need to be careful of and pay attention to.
And it's been pretty quiet as far as any word about the details of the reported federal investigation or any potential indictment. But do you think?
Just because the man's known for suing people, but that's what I was just saying a minute ago. Because this man has been suing people, it could be looked at by a good attorney. It could be argued that, hey, this man's always suing somebody. But this man is in jail, and this incident happened between 97 and 98. So I just can't see an inmate. I know they have lots of time on their hands, but I can't see an inmate saying, I know who I'll sue next. Diddy. I'll sue him. Everybody else is. And to go through writing up briefs and motions and all that, I don't see him as making it up. Shay B said, Diddy, sir, pawn that chinchilla and pay up. I mean, I don't know. He's got a lot of houses. another house that people are not mentioning is the one he has on. It's in Florida, Star Island. Nobody seems to talk about that house, and I know he does own one there.
Think it's possible Diddy won't be charged criminally, or do you think that an indictment still looms for him?
An indictment absolutely still looms for Mr. Combs. I think that there has been such a large response to the allegations in Ms. Ventura's case and now in all of these other subsequent cases that you can't unsee. You can't unsee it. So once it's out there, it's there. It is the government's responsibility to investigate these claims or these alleged claims. And I think that there has been so much attention that's been placed on this that to let this go quietly in the night is it would be nearly impossible for the government to allow that to happen unless they are statutorily bound or there is some other reason that they can't go or proceed forward.
In terms of the alleged victims in this case, what do you think this message sends to them as far as, Diddy hasn't been charged criminally, he hasn't been indicted, but given all the allegations, the mounting lawsuits, but Diddy seems to be doing just fine in terms of, previously we've seen him whitewater rafting, previously he's riding his bike out in South Beach, Miami. I've read reports that he's been visiting up Harlem here in New York City. What are your thoughts about Diddy's demeanor, given all the lawsuits he's faced? He's fallen from grace, definitely. But what do you think that message sends to the alleged victims in this case, as far as them wanting to seek justice against their alleged perpetrator?
It can certainly be frustrating for alleged victims in this case because they want some sort of justice, they want some sort of resolve. And we also know that there isn't one allegation by one individual, but there are multiple allegations by multiple individuals. And so eventually, the plaintiffs, they're going to want to see some level of justice and retribution in this case. And to see Mr. Combs going about his daily business, as business as usual, can be certainly frustrating for alleged victims. However, one of the things I always tell people is the criminal justice system is the slowest moving system probably known to man at this point. And so while that may be the case now that he is out of custody, there haven't been charges filed or anything of that nature, that does not mean that there won't be some sort of justice in the long run.
See, he's got a whole bunch of stuff I can see him pawning right now.
Doesn't mean that he won't be found guilty or responsible for something later down the line. It just honestly takes time.
All right, Safa, again, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
You know what's going to happen next? Next, the government going to be getting in his business. And next thing you know, we'll see him up there because he owed the federal government some tax money.
Thank you so much.
And Diddy's lawyers are firing back against the $100 million default judgment.
Okay. What?
In a statement to USA Today, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, said, quote, "This man is a convicted felon and sexual predator who has been sentenced on 14 counts of sexual assault and kidnapping over the last 26 years. His resume now includes committing a fraud on the court from prison, as Mr. Combs has never heard of him, let alone been served with any lawsuit. Mr. Combs looks forward to having this judgment swiftly dismissed." Reporting for Law and Crime, I'm Elizabeth Milner.
Here's the thing. Why didn't his attorney show up in court and say that? Write a brief, get it dismissed. I don't understand that. I am free to be me. Now, something I found interesting is the amount of people, celebrities, who support this man. And
all of the-
so here we have a list of celebrities who are supporting him. Slim Thug, Uncle Luke. I'm very disappointed in Uncle Luke for that one. Stevie J. Well, there was that picture going around with him and a man in bed, and that man was allegedly Stevie J. Floyd Mayweather. I'm not surprised. Akon, Jason Derulo, and Tyrese, who has his own legal troubles right now. So, Tyrese supporting somebody. Okay. Now I don't know who Slim Thug is. I wonder if he's part of that. Do y'all know? Is he part of that YSL crew? Because I don't know. I don't know them rappers. But those are the people who are supporting him. And even if I was supporting him, I would definitely not say it out loud. So that is what is going on in the world of P. Diddy at this time. So now we are going to get into, and does anybody think that'll be dismissed? Because I just don't. I just don't see it getting dismissed. So next we're going to move on up and move on into this something I don't even know what made me look for this, but you know, Carl Thomas's baby mother, as she says, and also I think she's a former friend of Sonya. And he remember that time Sonya did that live and had her on, and she had her on for the purposes of talking about how Tasha K tricks and misleads in her interviews. Yeah, right. But anyway, so that she was also known as Big Bird, but the world knows her as Carl Thomas baby mother. And I will also tell you that I didn't know her name. Her name is kind of Latoya Chantel. And I had totally did not know her name. So I literally went to Google and put in Carl Thomas's baby's mother. And that's how I found out her name. So she is complaining and griping that she doesn't get enough money or any money from Carl Thomas. Now she's mad because he got married. So here's what we have today, something that I did not know. She had been on Kendra G. And I did not know she had been on Kendra G. So I am going to show that right now. Her what do you call it? Her debut on Kendra G. It's it's not very long, so we won't be on here till 3 some in the morning. We'll be off of here here shortly. But I just wanted to play that because it's quite funny. Or at least what I saw of it was funny. She's funny. I mean, and she also has I don't know what label she is signed to, but she has a couple of songs out. So let's get into the foolishness she's going to be talking about. The darn thing ever. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. Hi, Kendra.
Good. What's your name, honey?
Latoya.
Latoya, where you calling me from?
Atlanta.
ATL in the building. Okay, we went from Texas to Atlanta. How old are you, Latoya?
38.
38. And what do you do for a living?
I work at the airport. I'm a singer, songwriter. I do a lot. I have a clothing line, braiding shop.
Singer, songwriter, works at the airport.
I don't know about anybody else, but I always have an eyebrow raised when somebody is doing that much because I just don't see where anybody can do that much. So it makes me think they're not doing too much of anything.
You braid hair too?
Yes.
All right, give me 20 seconds of you singing.
Okay. Thought a nigga had my back. Turns out he was a cap. What you wanna do, tit for tat? Cause you don't fuck with me. Yeah, you may touch on me. Yeah, you may fuck on me. Buy me a couple things, but you don't fuck with me.
Is that an original song?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
You want me to?
There goes my monetization.
Something you know?
No, that was fine. That was fine. I was caught off guard by the lyrics. Okay. All right, Latoya, what's your zodiac sign?
Gemini, of course.
Gemini, you have any children?
Yeah, 5.
5 kids. How old are your kids?
18, 10, 9, 3, and 4.
All by the same man?
No,
How many men?
5.
Why you not with the 3-year-old dad?
He was a friend, and we just kind of had sex, and that was it.
Okay,
It wasn't
why you not,
supposed to be a pregnancy. Yeah.
why you not with the 4-year-old dad?
My 4-year-old's dad is a celebrity, and he's a deadbeat, so that's why.
Do you want to share the name?
Carl Thomas.
Carl Thomas is your 4-year-old's dad?
Yes, ma'am. Paternity, everything done.
Yes, I'm Carl Thomas, baby mother. Hey, Bible lady, how you doing?
And paperwork, yeah.
I know Carl in real life.
Yes, ma'am. I can send you the paperwork.
No, that would be necessary. That would be
Okay.
necessary. But he's not involved.
Not at all. 4 years old. Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but that was kind of shady of Kendra G. I know Carl Thomas in real life, as if to say, you don't.
4 years old. Okay. Did you guys date?
No, we didn't date. We were in contact. I knew him for like 11 years before we had sexual contact. So we didn't date, but we were just like, friendly. He called me one night after a concert. That's kind of how it went.
And he doesn't help out with the child.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, let's keep going. All right. Latoya Atlanta, 38, Gemini, singer-songwriter, works at the airport, braids hair, 5 kids. What kind of mean?
Now she has all those jobs and all those children. 5. I mean, to me, 5 children are a lot. My limit would be 3. But so if you up into 5 and more, yeah, exactly, Bible lady, a booty call. If you have that many kids, how is this woman doing all of the things, all of the businesses, and working all of the places that she says she worked and take care of 5 kids? I just don't. And a single parent, I don't see how it's possible.
You looking for, honey?
Sorry, I was trying to call my phone. I'm just looking for somebody very supportive, very loyal, understanding, who can deal with the industry. Oh my God, can somebody please? I don't know who this is calling me. Somebody who can deal with.
I don't even know, how does she even have time with all that she's got going on? How would she fit a relationship in? Uh, Shelly C said, why is she looking for another man? That's the same thing. I mean, I don't understand. How are you between your multiple businesses and jobs and 5 children? I just don't see how you would have time for a man. I really don't.
How everything goes in the industry. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Support is definitely number one.
Support in what ways?
Oh, because I'm an entrepreneur. So like I just need somebody who has my back. I don't want nobody who's like a hater, low key.
Okay.
You have a lot of men that are just like very unsupportive, almost competition like, and I don't like that in a relationship.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Oh my God. Somebody keep calling my phone. I'm sorry.
Is your phone public somewhere?
Well, my number is of course online because I have my salon, so it's a public number. My number, yes, it's on my Instagram. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully they stop calling you so we can
Yeah,
figure out.
right.
What are your deal breakers?
My deal breakers, basically,
That was some more shade.
like I said, people who are unsupportive, cheaters, liars, the regular stuff. You definitely have to be ambitious. I prefer someone who is in the industry. Well, not necessarily in the industry, but someone who is an entrepreneur, works for themselves, who understand what it's like to work for yourself.
Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
I'm so sorry. They keep calling my phone. They don't have to look a certain way. I'm not very particular, but just not ugly, ugly. You just have to be attractive to me, pretty much.
Okay, now ugly, attracted to her.
Bank, I don't think that she's still homeless because she did an IG where she was cussing out, I think maybe Tasha Gay or something, for putting out there that she was homeless. And I think in that session she said that she wasn't homeless anymore, something to that effect. So, Bible lady, right? She has 5 kids, but she's a butcher, a baker, a candlestick maker, a braider, a singer, a carpenter, a plumber, a doctor, a lawyer, a veterinarian, a postal worker, mechanic, just to name a few. That's what I'm saying. Two things that get me, I raise my eyebrow when you have that many businesses or your hands in that many different pots, or you announce yourself as an entrepreneur. Because my thing is entrepreneur what? I just don't see you starting a business and not completing it, or starting a business as it fails. I just don't look at you as an entrepreneur. I just look at you as somebody who can't stick to one task. That's how I look at you. And Shelley C said, how about someone who didn't like children? Wouldn't that be a deal breaker? Yeah, exactly. That's number one. And number two, I personally, if I were a man, I don't think I would want a woman, and that's not to offend anybody, but I don't think I want a woman who has not only 5 children, but 5 children by 5 different men. Not to mention, you've got a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. That's what, 9 to 12 months apart, these children are, and they don't even have the same father. So I don't know. I wouldn't want her if I was a man.
All right, what about money?
Money doesn't matter. You got to be able to take care of yourself. Got to be able to build with me. Long as you are very ambitious and wanting more, because I don't have a ceiling.
You don't have a ceiling. All right, let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh Lord. Hold on, let me go to the bathroom. That's the best light. Can you see me? Hold on. Oh my God. No, probably if I put
Okay,
it
wait, can we
down.
see your legs one more time?
I'm actually sorry, my pants are unzipped.
Oh, your pants are unzipped. Okay. Okay, we see you, mama.
I was laying on the bed.
We can't see your face now. We see your picture. Hello, Latoya? Latoya, what happened?
Oh my
honey?
God. Look at that. My can't. There we go.
Okay. All right, Latoya. So when was your last post? Hello?
I'm sorry. They keep calling and I'm like super nervous.
Latoya, when was your last relationship, honey?
My last relationship was maybe a few months ago.
Okay.
Didn't work.
You don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
A few months ago.
3 months ago. Okay. What are 3 flaws that you have to work on?
I probably have my hands in a lot of pots. Like I know how to do a lot of things. I feel like I'm supposed to make money with all.
I don't know what just happened. You just got disconnected. All right, so something happened. Latoya dropped. I'm not sure why, but she dropped. Latoya dropped off. Hello, you was here a second ago, right?
Yes, I got disconnected. I don't know what happened.
Okay.
But can I just say one thing before I get started? Because there's people calling my phone and threatening me. I just want to say, for Carl Thomas. So I just want to say, and they're calling me homeless and all this stuff. I did a interview with Tasha.
If y'all really believe it's people, why are they calling her now? Why? Who this lady?
Okay. And she labeled me as Carl Thomas, homeless baby mom. So I didn't appreciate that, number one, because, okay, when I met Carl Thomas, I met him when I had a show not only on ABC, but on the CW. doing my own thing, and that's how I met him, interviewing him. So I was not homeless. I owned my salon for 16 years. So that is not correct. Now, when I moved to Atlanta, I did become homeless, and that was recently. I was homeless about 5, 6 months ago, and I was open with Tasha about that. And for her to label me, and have that as the caption, number one, it wasn't true. I didn't sleep with him as a homeless woman who just.
That's not what Tasha K meant. You were homeless and you did sleep with Carl Thomas. Now she has an Instagram account and I think TikTok. She knows how social media works. She just, first of all, she's not going to just put your name because people are going to say, "Who is she?" And you know, I mean, she just put, that's what you put to get people to watch it. She should have been grateful for that because now we all know who she is.
Just went to his room one night because I was homeless. No, I knew this man at least 6 or 7 years before we even slept together, slept with him once and chose not to deal with him anymore. And he was salty and chooses not to take care of his daughter. I'm going to say one thing, public records are definitely, child support is definitely public records. So anybody, my name is LaToya Young. If you want, and you know his name, Carlton and Ron Thomas. If you want to look it up as public records, so I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to make up. I'm a woman on here trying to look for a man just like anybody else. And I'm entitled to that. And just because who my baby father is shouldn't affect that and shouldn't have y'all calling me and threatening me. If you want to know the real, it's public record. Tasha K has all the paperwork and has been following this story since I was pregnant.
I don't know about that, but here's another thing. She could have left out the part that she was homeless. If it was that embarrassing to her, she could have left that out of the interview. So I still don't see what she's complaining about. And furthermore, me as a if I were a woman with 5 children, I would not leave the state where I was living, where I had a home. Hey, Miss Piggy Braxton, I would not leave the state where I had a home and move to another state where I'm homeless with 5 kids. Staying in a hotel or a shelter with 5 children. So that tells me right there she's not a very good decision maker. Bible lady says she didn't talk about this when she took over Sonia's life. No, she didn't. No, she didn't. And Tasha K did not make anything up. Tasha K couldn't use what you didn't give her. I mean, come on.
Who's calling my phone trying to get me not to do the interview, probably on his behalf. But people are calling my phone. It's multiple people calling my phone. I'm getting multiple text messages from New York City numbers and Georgia numbers.
And you feel like it's who calling you?
Either his fans, because my number, like I said, my number is on my page because of what I do. But yeah, it could be his fans, it could be his peoples. I don't know. They're just sending threats. I can show you all of this. I can send it to you if you like. But yeah, I'm probably gonna post it on my page anyways. And for all of you who saying I sound however
I don't know about anybody else, but I don't care if I was a friend of Carl Thomas. Kendra G says she knows him personally. Do you think I would sit up because they don't want her to be on the Kendra G show? Do you think I would sit up and constantly call her multiple people? I might even understand it if Carl Thomas was calling her and said, "Keep my name out your mouth." I might would go along with that, but multiple people from Georgia and New York, they're calling her because she's on Kendra G right now. Are you serious? Really? Okay. And Miss Piggy Braxton.
I'm very nervous when I.
Miss Piggy Braxton says having relations a few months ago while homeless priorities jacked up. Like I said, I just wouldn't go on the internet telling my business like some of these people do. And I know Bible lady, I wasn't gonna say nothing. I thought it was just me, but I wish she'd change the battery in that smoke detector or take them out.
Got on the phone. I'm very nervous. I jumped on my bed and answered my phone. I'm singing down on TikTok, Instagram, anywhere you want to see it. So I'm very confident in my talents and what I do.
Okay. If you just tuned in, Latoya was on the show probably like 15 minutes ago. We got disconnected. She's from Atlanta, 38. She's a singer songwriter, works at an airport, braids hair. She does have 5 kids by 5 different men, and one of the 4-year-old dad she revealed is a celebrity. I happened to ask her who was the celebrity if she wanted to tell us, and she said it was Carl Thomas. I do want to just say this disclaimer. I know Carl Thomas and I know Tasha K in real life.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
just out of courtesy of my industry friendship with both, I mean, nothing will be edited out. It is what it is. But I
The
will
interview is still on Tasha K's page. It's still on there. So
well, no, I
I'm
would say
just,
that as a courtesy for my industry friendships with both of them, I will just make them aware
oh
that
yes, ma'am.
that you
Yes,
crossed
ma'am.
in. I didn't know you at all until this moment.
Right.
So it is what it is. I wasn't seeking out to do an interview with you about that. I did ask who was your celebrity child's father, and that's how we got here. All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
moving forward, what was the last question I asked you before we got disconnected?
My flaws, I believe, and I was saying like my hands was in too many pots or whatever. But I feel like as long as I'm making money off of them. Hey, if you can't hang, that's why I prefer an entrepreneur. I probably have a problem with delegation because I always feel like I could do everything by myself and I can't. I'm late a lot. Um, and
Is
I'm
that
too
what your kids in the
kind-hearted.
background? We see somebody in the background.
Oh yeah, that's my daughter. That's
Miss
my
Piggy Braxton, I didn't even think about that. She's an entrepreneur with no business phone. She got all the businesses. You mean to tell me she's got one cell phone? Because now I don't know, but I would think you could write a business phone, especially if it was a cell phone or something. I would think you could write it off in your taxes or deduct it as a business expense or something. Banks said, I don't understand why the men folk cannot take responsibility for birth control. Shaking my head. Well, I'll just say, as a lady, somebody, especially somebody I'm just having a one night stand with, which I don't do those, but if I did, they would be putting on a condom. Even if we was in a relationship, they'd be putting on a condom. I mean, so I don't know. Um, Bible lady says I work remote like trillion of us now do. If I'm on the phone with a representative and I hear that detector beeping in the background, I hang up immediately. And something now that I think about it, my sister, she does not have she has the house phone, but she has a business phone too. So I didn't think about that, having the two different phones. And yeah, or I might finish up the call that I'm on, and as soon as I get off, take that battery out. Or when she got disconnected, she could have ran and took that battery out and got back on there with Kendra G. Or that daughter in the background looked big enough, she could get up there and take that battery out. And I understand too, Miss Piggy Braxton, why she is still single.
And why would a guy be like to be with you, Latoya?
I'm very ambitious. If you pour into me, I'll definitely pour into you. Um, I don't know. I have a lot of love to give, a lot to offer, and I'm trying to actually build something. I have a lot of ideas, and if you're not where you need to be, I know how to motivate you.
She knows
And
how to
that's about
motivate
it.
you. So let's do it. Latoya, Atlanta, do you want more children?
Oh no, I'm done. The shop is closed.
Have you ever been married?
No, been married, engaged twice.
Engaged twice. Okay. All right, Boo. So how can the guy reach out to you?
Latoya Chantel on IG. Latoya dot
Latoya,
Chantel.
Latoya.Chantel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you keep me posted how it goes, babe.
On my phone. That's crazy. All right, Kendra. Thank you so much.
No problem. Bye, Boo.
Okay. Hey, we got Miss Buckeye. She has joined the detective agency. She is a new member. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Miss Piggy Braxton. Miss Piggy Braxton said she don't clean the house. Hey, Jackson Tabasco. Yeah, that was Carl Thomas' baby mother, as she calls herself. Um, I'm looking on her Instagram. I went all the way through her Instagram and I didn't see anything on there that where she, like she said she was going to post show logs of those people calling while she's on Kendra G, and I don't see that. It's not on there. So that is all I have for y'all. I know it's a lot going on tonight. I know it's the debates and everything, and people are doing that, and other people they have lives going on, but people might check it out in the replay. But that's all I have, and I'm gonna put the paperwork for I'll probably put it in members for all of Cordell's. I'm gonna look up all his lawsuits and stuff and put them in members so you guys can see that the different people that he has sued. So Shaby said, I guess she's just gonna drift from channel to channel. I think she wants the attention or she likes the attention because I'm telling you that thing she did on Instagram, because I was thinking about playing it, but she is just cussing. I mean, it's awful. She is just really cussing out Tasha K and talking about how bad Tasha K lied on her. But if Tasha K asked you a question and you answered it, I don't see where the lie is. I really don't. So, but she had a lot to say about it. She had a lot to say about it. And I don't even, for some reason, I don't even see that on her Instagram. I know it was on Instagram, but I didn't see it on her Instagram. So I don't know if how people do Instagram lives and then just decide that they don't want them up there anymore and they take them down. And the world's supposed to forget that they did it in the first place. I don't know if she did one of those things or not. But yeah, she did. I don't see it on here. And that was another thing. She did it in the dark. I don't know if I'm gonna be telling somebody off loud and proud. I'm gonna show my face because you're gonna see how I feel. But then again, I wouldn't get on the internet to tell anybody off. Shaby said, sis needs to pull back from the camera. I don't see how she has time. She that's another thing she's doing, making videos and stuff. How does she have time with 15 businesses and 5 children? 2 of which aren't even school age. That's money for daycare. I mean, just think about it. She makes no sense. She makes no sense at all. Let me see what's on her TikTok. Let me look at that right quick since I'm on here. Because I didn't think to look on her TikTok either. Because I'm so disinterested in her, but I thought it was funny that I came across that Kendra G episode. I don't know why. I might not have as much problem with her if she introduced herself as herself. But her leading line is, I'm Carl Thomas' baby mother, or I have a child by a celebrity. And if you tell me you have a child by a celebrity, what am I going to do? I'm going to ask you about said celebrity that you have. And I wonder, I think maybe I'll look up, see if I can find her child support too. I know I wouldn't be able to. Well, it would tell me if paternity was established. So, oh, for heaven's sakes, this woman is a trip. She is a trip. She's got like, she like a Reese T, so she got like, she's got like a whole darn she just like keeps posting about her baby father with different parts over there on TikTok. She also says on TikTok, this is what she says. This is what it says, rather, I should say. She said, I'm a sue this dusty, rusty ass bitch. Um, why don't the things stay up? Okay, she says, "I'ma sue this dusty, rusty ass bitch. Should have kept your mouth closed, especially when you always get facts wrong. Now I'm about to run down the facts. Video coming tomorrow when I got time, my day off." She has all those businesses and jobs. How does she have time off? That's what she says. I ain't heard nothing about that lawsuit. And let me see, she's got another one. She did another video on TikTok that says, "I'm a sue Tasha K. You effed up this time." Okay, yeah. I have not heard anything else about that. She also has on here a post. It says, "Congratulations to my deadbeat at Carl Thomas. He finally got someone to marry him to soak up over $100,000 in child support debt he has." And she put a smiley face on it, and then she's got a picture of her and the baby. Ooh, this baby do look like Carl Thomas, but she has a baby there and a picture right beside him of Carl Thomas. And she said, "The baby like twin. Where have you been?" This is just some juveniles. Is this her kid? Y'all, I ought to pull this TikTok up so we can look at it. She's got a thing in here of her. Let me stop sharing the screen. She's got a thing on here of her son sticking his middle finger up at the camera, and she thinks that that's cute. She thinks that's cute. Yeah, let me pull that up. If I can, because y'all got to see this. This is a mess. See if I can get it pulled up and functioning right. Put her name in. This. Okay. I'm not good at TikTok, y'all. I can't get it pulled up. It won't. The app ain't working right, so I can't pull it up. But this was really something to. This is really something to see, really. But it's a thing of her 3-year-old. He is sitting there with sticking his thumbs up, and she think it's funny. I don't understand. I don't understand that mentality. I just don't. But anyway, that is. Did I kick myself out of? I think I kicked myself out of StreamYard. Oh no, here I am. Okay. And I thought I stopped sharing my screen. Why is it still up here? Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, that is all I have. I'm getting ready to get in the bed. And I appreciate everybody who came tonight, who listened to me. If you missed some of it, join the replay gang. And that's all I have. But you could be anywhere else tonight, and you were right here with me. Thank you, new members, and I greatly appreciate all of you. Now, let me see. What beat are we going to drop tonight? I'm going to find me a beat to drop, and we're going to get on out of here.